Our children shouldn't have to process this.
Now at 6:30, the Middleton community comes together to remember the children killed in a murder-suicide last week, what they are hoping for. Plus, continuing coverage of Friday's fire in downtown Tomah, we speak with a resident who witnessed it all unfold. And Jacob is in this morning with a look at your Sunday forecast as we go back to our mild temperatures. That's all ahead here on Weekend Mornings. And good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Pazorski. It is Sunday, February 25th. Professional wrestler Ric Flair turned 75 today. Let's take a look outside this morning. Jacob Montesano is here for what the day ahead will be like. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. As I talked about yesterday, temperatures were about 20 degrees colder Saturday morning compared to Friday morning. And this morning, they're about 20 degrees warmer compared to yesterday morning. Some areas are actually above freezing, especially those of you near La Crosse. Now, it is a little bit colder in the southern portion of the state as the winds are a little bit gustier. But here's a look at that temperature change from 24 hours ago. Very similar to yesterday morning, except completely opposite, or 20 degrees warmer compared to the previous morning. And temperatures this morning look to kind of stick around for the most part, with the exception for Wednesday. I'll talk about that later. But for the most part, we are going to continue to see these mild temperatures as they will return today. Now, there are a few areas experiencing some windy conditions, especially in the far southern portion of the state and eastern portion of the state as you get closer to Milwaukee. Areas near La Crosse, not quite as much wind. But because of the wind, a few areas are seeing wind chill values and feels like temperatures in the teens. So it still feels pretty cold out there because of that wind. We've been a little bit breezy during the overnight hours, but it is going to improve throughout the day. Now here's a look at La Crosse's forecast. High temperatures could possibly reach the 50s with partly sunny skies. So overall, we'll see sunshine with a few clouds here and there. Wow, take a look at that sunrise. Sorry, I got distracted for a moment. For Madison, 50s once again. Wind speeds are going to max out at 10 miles per hour, so it's going to be a pretty quiet day. But we have an alert day for the possibility of severe weather Tuesday. I'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later.
Starting the day off with a good sunrise. Jacob, thank you. We'll check back in just a bit. Now into our top stories this morning. A vigil was held Saturday night in Middleton to mourn the two children killed by their mother in a murder-suicide. It was a week ago today when the incident happened. Last night, dozens of Middleton community members and more than 30 family members gathered to remember the smiles of Maya and Major Lacey Robinson. Boys and Girls Club of Dane County CEO Michael Johnson spoke to us on behalf of the family.
I think it was important for us to bring them out and to let them know that the community, as Pastor Jackson said, wanted to hug, wanted to love one of them, but also to pray for them as well.
A GoFundMe has been set up to support the family with funeral and counseling expenses. We've linked to that online at channel3000.com. And if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, there is help available. You can call the Domestic Abuse Intervention Services helpline at 608-251-4445 or text the organization at 608-420-4638. A Friday night fire in downtown Tomah took nearly 9 hours to contain. That's according to Fire Chief Tim Alder. In a press release yesterday, Alder said significant fire and water damage occurred, affecting at least 4 buildings. A resident who was in the area at the time tells us they were caught off guard Friday afternoon, initially thinking it was a car crash.
And I saw that van that's sitting right there, that white one there, covered in bricks. So immediately I went to the door, called 911. I told them we need fire trucks, EMS, pretty much everybody you got.
The Tomah community is rallying behind the people impacted, with many community members donating to help families get back on their feet. Former President Donald Trump secured another decisive primary win in South Carolina Saturday night, defeating Nikki Haley in her home state. Bradley Blackburn has the latest on the vote and why Haley says she will stay in the race.
This was a little sooner than we anticipated.
In South Carolina Saturday, former President Trump celebrated another victory.
An even bigger win than we anticipated. And
despite losing her home state and with an unclear path, Nikki Haley promised to push forward.
I'm a woman of my word.
Roughly 800,000 South Carolinians took to the polls Saturday.
Donald's going to carry it, and I'm just adding to the pile.
Weighing the choice between a former president and the state's former governor.
I had to come have one more vote against Trump.
I had to hold my nose to beat
to vote, to be honest.
Trump leads in the delegate count, and polls show he's the overwhelming pick for primary voters nationwide. But this is a race unlike any other, as he simultaneously faces multiple legal challenges. It's one reason Haley is holding on. Yesterday, she seized on comments Trump made in front of conservative black voters.
The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible.
That's the chaos that comes with Donald Trump. That's the offensiveness that's going to happen every day between now and the general election, which is why I continue to say Donald Trump cannot win a general election.
Haley heads to Michigan for the next contest on Tuesday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
16 delegates are at stake in Michigan, and then Super Tuesday follows a week later. More than 800 delegates are up for grabs that day. Trump needs 1,215 to win, and with South Carolina, he's now secured 107. In other national news, not everyone is on board with former President Trump's plans to install members of his campaign and his daughter-in-law in key positions with the Republican National Committee. Members are reportedly circulating 2 resolutions that would slow down the process. One resolution would ensure the RNC maintains its neutrality until a candidate reaches the required 1,215 delegates. A second resolution would bar the RNC from paying the legal bills of either Trump or Haley in cases not related to the 2024 presidential election. Right now, it is unclear if the resolutions have enough support to pass. In 6 weeks, Wisconsin voters will head to the polls to cast their vote in the presidential primary. But for some Wisconsinites who have been recently incarcerated, that can pose some barriers. That's why the League of Women Voters in Dane County are working to help those who recently finished felony convictions to get back on the voter rolls. They are among a group of 44 local leagues which have received grants to do this work.
We would love to reach out to individuals who want follow-up. You know, like I meet some people and they're not quite there yet, but they are on the way to being off paper. And we want to help them as much as possible.
News 3 Now's Will Keneally sits down for a full interview with Moss this morning. You can tune in to For the Record at 10:30 right here on WIC TV and streaming online at channel3000.com. More local news, Madison's State Street was the setting of Saturday's Lunar New Year's celebrations. The event lined the entire street where visitors were treated to dance performances by the Zhong Yai Kung Fu Association. The dancers were dressed as lions to perform a special Chinese lion dance. And while they brought the expertise, the crowd also played along.
We call it playing with the crowd, and it's really fun to play with the crowd because one of the main purposes of the lion is to bring joy and to spread that joy. And so when you get to go out and play with the crowd, you are really spreading that joy because for the most part, everybody laughs and likes it.
The Lions blessed local businesses to bring them luck and prosperity. They even attempted to go inside some businesses, that is, if you could fit through the door. They were also a variety of food options from over a dozen local Asian restaurants. And yesterday, the Optimist Club of Madison celebrated 100 years of operation. The organization partners with Whitehorse Middle School and its students to support community organizations through donations and volunteer work, as well as sponsor annual speaking and essay contests.
Just kind of an opportunity to meet with the people that actually do the work and put things together. The optimism that the Optimist Club has helps everybody. Like, it's just such a uplifting club. Everything is positive. And that's the focus that we should have for youth.
The Optimist Club of Madison is one of nearly 3,000 chapters of the organization Optimist International. Time now is 6:39. Still ahead, Dr. Rupa Shah makes a house call to talk about colon cancer. That's ahead in Health Conversations. And let's take a live look outside. There's that sunrise again. Jacob has your full forecast just ahead on weekend mornings.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
There's your biggie bag. All that food for $5. Right. That's my go-to.
Ooh, that's my ride or die.
Just like you and me. Bag boys. Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
Go biggie and get all this with the JBC for just $5.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming. So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
When Barbara switched to TurboTax,
I broke 4 generations of family tradition with 5 little words. Ma, I want to make perfume. Getting my business off the ground was a full-time job.
so I made Barbara's new sidekick count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and a maximum refund. Make your moves. We'll make them count. Intuit TurboTax. 100% accuracy guaranteed.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Tailored for your news the way you want it. With a customizable home page and faster page loads. Download the Channel 3000 News app. Powered by News 3 Now. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know for this week. We are going to see milder temperatures today with record highs possible Monday and Tuesday. And then as we get into Tuesday, showers and storms are expected with snowfall by Wednesday morning. It just shows you how quickly the temperatures are going to fall. Now, before I get into the forecast, I have to show you this sunrise that we were seeing at our station. I mean, just beautiful. It's got just the right amount of cloud cover. You know, complete sunshine has, you know, a nice sunrise and sunset also, but it just gets a little bit better when we have a little bit of cloud cover. But overall, we're seeing partly cloudy skies. That's going to be the case for much of the day. Now, let me talk about the alert day Tuesday. This is for the possibility of severe weather, especially in the southeastern portion of Wisconsin. This is for all of southern Wisconsin, not for you folks near La Crosse, but Madison and surrounding areas. But the further south and east you're located, the better chance you will see that severe weather. This will mostly be for Tuesday afternoon, but especially the evening hours on Tuesday. Here's a look at the severe weather outlook for Tuesday. Marginal risk for much of Madison's area. Not severe weather risk up near La Crosse, and a slight risk further south in portions of Greene and Rock counties. But the further southeast you're located as you go into Illinois, that's the best chance that we will see severe weather on Tuesday. So here's a look at future track. Not going to see any precipitation for the next 48 hours. So beginning Tuesday morning, we could see some light rain during the afternoon, especially for those of you up in La Crosse, as some snow is possible during the daytime north of La Crosse near Eau Claire. But during the evening, we could see some of these showers form in thunderstorms that also could produce some severe weather. Now, for those of you in La Crosse and Eau Claire, you folks may see some snowfall early in the night, but temperatures are going to plummet for our entire area during this time frame because we're going to see snowfall by Wednesday morning for everyone. Now, we're not expecting to see a lot of accumulation, maybe a couple of inches for you folks near La Crosse in the central portion of the state. Maybe about an inch at most in southern Wisconsin. But the fact that temperatures are going to go from the 60s to cold enough to being snowfall in just about 12 hours, that is quite extreme. Now, we are going to be dry by Wednesday afternoon, but take a look at that temperature swing from Tuesday to Wednesday. Tuesday, we're going to have high temperatures in the middle 60s, and then Wednesday, we're going to have high temperatures in the 20s. Now, it is going to jump right back up into the 60s by next weekend, but still that is going to be possibly a 40-degree temperature change, and that's not just in 24 hours. We're talking about around 12 hours of that quick temperature change. So a big change in temperatures for really only one day, though, because it's going to be back to mild temperatures after that, as highs will be back in the 40s, 50s, and then possibly 60s by next weekend. We could even be flirting with 70 for next weekend. That's how mild it's going to be. So here's a look at Madison's forecast. The alert day is not for you folks in La Crosse. This is only for southern Wisconsin, as that is where the severe weather risk is. And we also have another chance of rain by next week towards Monday and then possibly Tuesday as well.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Health conversation time. This morning, our Shane Hogan sits down with Dr. Rupa Shah to talk about something we all need to remember to do as we get older. That's colon cancer screening, of course. Here now is that conversation.
Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of death from cancer here in the U.S. and the third most common cancer overall. During National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, SSM Health family medicine physician and wellness coach Dr. Rupa Shah joins us to discuss prevention advice and screenings that are available. So Dr. Shah, starting off, what is colorectal cancer and who is at risk?
Yeah, so colorectal cancer is cancer of the colon or the rectum. And really anyone is at risk, but particularly if you've got a family history of it, if you've got certain conditions like inflammatory bowel disease, it does put you at risk. Symptoms really can vary, and that's really the problem. Oftentimes people don't have any symptoms at all, or you can start to experience rectal bleeding, unexplained weight loss, appetite changes, changes in your stool, diarrhea, constipation, or narrowing of the stool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking about those symptoms a little bit more, what are maybe some of the ones that people realize first, like something's not right?
Yeah, so again, oftentimes because there is no symptoms, it can be just unexplained weight loss, loss of appetite, and then later you might see some blood in your stool, or again, the narrowing of the stool, like changes in the caliber of the stool can be a symptom that you'll notice. Yeah.
Now, what can we do to help prevent this form of cancer? Is there anything that we can do?
Well, of course, like focusing on our diet, making sure that we're eating a diet low in animal fats can be sometimes helpful because we're getting less of those saturated animal fats. The other thing, fiber, making sure that we're getting enough fruits and vegetables and a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, and all that fiber can really help prevent it too. Avoiding smoking, avoiding alcohol, of course, but other than that, really sometimes if you've got the genetic predisposition too, just being on the lookout for any symptoms and making sure to get your screening. The screening guidelines now state that we should get screened starting at age 45.
Okay, is that earlier than maybe previously?
So previously it used to be age 50, so a lot of people still think, oh, when I turn 50, but now remember, it's age 45.
Okay, a couple years earlier.
A couple years earlier. The screening colonoscopy is kind of what we call the gold standard and what you really want to do, but now we've got the fantastic Cologuard testing as well, making it a lot easier to get screening for people.
Awesome, so a little more accessible for folks to get this done.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Dr. Shah, where else can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
All right, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And ahead here on Weekend Mornings, we'll check in with Andrew with Saturday's news and sports. There's a big day in wrestling. That's next after weather.
Steinhaffel's President's Day mattress sale is the best time to save big on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. Save up to $300 and pay only $46 per month for a queen Tempur-Pedic mattress. Plus, save $200 more when you upgrade to an adjustable base set. Tempur-Pedics are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by supporting the body as no other mattress can. The President's Day mattress sale, only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like hazy or blurred vision, so it's hard to see fine details. Colors that appear dull or washed out. Or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Without the right start to your day, your morning could hit a wall.
Is he okay?
I got it.
Belvita breakfast biscuits are baked with slow-release carbs and provide steady morning energy to help you rise and thrive.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Monday at 6.
It's a new day in Wisconsin.
The passage of new electoral maps could change the game for state politics.
Now we move forward with fair maps.
As Campaign 2024 moves forward, find out how the redrawn lines could impact both parties' strategies and what it could mean in the district where you cast a vote.
I still think we can win.
Plus, I'll break down the policies that could be back on the legislative table if controlling the Capitol flips this November. Monday on News 3 Now at 6.
Let's take a second and check out some weather photos of the day. This first one was sent in to us by Gary, not the chief, different Gary. But as we look at this photo showing a nice cloud formation with the sun, although I think that's the sun, the photo does look fairly dark, so I'm guessing it's the sun, but maybe those are some stars around it. Could be the moon, though. Beyond the point, thank you for submitting your photo, Gary. And this next photo, this is definitely the moon, showing a very nice kind of moon on the horizon. The moon always looks a lot bigger on the horizon, but also the cloud formation makes this photo look even cooler. Also a little bit ominous. I can't speak. What's the word for it, Kyle? Help me. I can't speak. Anyway, you can submit your own weather photo through the website. Click channel3000.com, click on the weather tab, and go down to post your own. It's as simple as that.
This time of year almost feels like a holiday in Wisconsin. Yesterday was Championship Saturday at the Kohl Center, the place every kid wants to be crowned the best wrestler in the state. Now, entering this weekend, only 75 wrestlers could call themselves three-time state champs. Dodgeville's Charlie might looking to add his name to that list. He'd get the takedown there en route to a 5-3 decision that earned him his third state title. But not to be outdone, teammate Reed Spurley capped off a perfect senior season with a 7-2-4 decision at 126 pounds to win his third state title. Moving up to 150 pounds, Evansville's Danny Heiser dominated his match from start to finish, winning 6-1 to claim his third straight title. Let's hear from him.
I had that mindset like, hey, I already know I'm the best guy. Hey, I already know you're not going to beat me because I'm focused on the process. So I'm just going to show it to everybody else. What I already know.
It means everything. The work I put in on a weekly basis, year round, it all comes to show right here at this tournament. It's awesome. I mean, it's everything I dreamed of. Winning state and doing it 3 times is even better.
And what a weekend it was for the Peach family of Milton. Both Maddie and Tyson made it to the championship Saturday, and the siblings were wrestling for their first state titles at the exact same time right next to each other. Maddie would cap off an undefeated season with a 7-1 decision, and a couple of feet away, her older brother Tyson capped off his senior year with his first state championship in a 5-1 decision.
I've missed so many of my goals in the last couple of years, and this is just one of the many more that I have. And but this one's really sweet because, I mean, honestly, all the people here, like this one feels the most special, out of any of them.
Well, I didn't know we were going to be wrestling at the same time till almost right before I wrestled, and I was kind of sad that I didn't get to watch him wrestle, but I knew we were both going to win. It was a great feeling.
And Dodgeville wasn't done either. Haken Peterson won the title last year as a freshman and followed that by going back-to-back with a 20-5 tech fall win at 113 pounds. Speaking of two-time state champs, Fenimore's Tristan Stelt claimed his second straight title thanks to back points in a 16-4 major decision. His teammate Ian Krapp also took home a state title. The senior achieved his dream, claiming the 144-pound title. What a way to end a career. And at 106, how about Pecatonica Argyle's Aiden Grunenfelder only needed an escape to win his match, and he gets it. The junior wins it 1-0.
Looking back, I didn't know if I would ever accomplish it. It was just a goal that was very hard to achieve, but came out on top in my senior year. It's crazy. Amazing feeling.
I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform this weekend, and just felt good to get it done. I felt like I was definitely expected to win, and that's what I expect for myself.
Since beating Ohio State to win their record-setting 7th national title, Wisconsin women's hockey is 28-5. 3 of those losses have come to the Buckeyes. Number 1 versus number 2 in the regular season finale. Grab your popcorn. Things weren't looking good for Bucky early, though. But you know Britta Curl wasn't going down that easy. Final game at LeBon for the senior, and she feeds her fellow senior, Casey O'Brien, for the goal. Tie it up at 2 apiece. How about it? And then just over a minute later, we're in the third period. Badgers on the attack. Layla Edwards to Kirsten Sims. Right back to Edwards for the game-winning goal. The Badgers don't disappoint. They never do. They are the greatest show on ice. Wisco wins it. 4-2 is your final. And the Badgers men's were given a big chance to jump up in the Big Ten standings this weekend. Let's just worry about today. Badgers leading 2-1, less than 8 minutes to go in the game, but look at that snipe. A Penn State goal knocks the game up at 2. We need overtime, which left this man coming all the way coast to coast. Ben Dexheimer does it himself, scores the goal, and the sophomore sends the Badgers to the promised land. What a way to rebound. 3-2 is your final. And staying on the hockey rink, boys sectional final, Oregon made state for the first time ever last year, trying to make it back. Scoreless in the second period, Panthers pounce first. Look at the one-timer feed from Mason Anderson to James Shervin. We've got a game. And then later, Oregon finding themselves tied at 1-1. St. Mary's Springs slapper no good, but Austin Westergaard there for the putback. The goal goes, and St. Mary's Springs wins it. 3-2 is your final. That's your morning sports fix. Have a sensational Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get right to the point. It's the extended President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress.
Madam President, what's that mean for the average American?
It means saving $100 off every $1,000 you spend.
And purple?
With bipartisan support, we've allocated up to $800 off adjustable mattress sets.
And how will the people pay for these so-called savings?
Try 6 years, no interest, and free shipping. Hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
Bish squared.
Egg and chicken and sausage biscuit. 2 biscuits. I'm impressed Tyler knew what squaring was.
Mathlete.
No matter what you call it, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3.
Your logo can identify your company, inspire your customers, and energize your team. We're 4imprint, and we can help your logo create moments that matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Hello, Wisconsin insurance brokers. Are you seeking outstanding dental coverage options? Momentum Insurance is your answer. A locally owned Madison company, we specialize in meeting Wisconsin residents' dental insurance needs. Our comprehensive coverages, competitive commissions, bonus programs, and online portals are what set us apart. Partner with us to elevate your group dental offerings. For details, visit our website at MomentumPlans.com. Momentum Insurance, your partner for outstanding dental coverage.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
This is Rhonda.
She's a soul line dance instructor. And this is Rhonda's Good Feet story.
I love dancing, but I had foot pain and hated the fact that I had to sit out a couple dances. But since visiting the Good Feet store and wearing the arch supports, I definitely have not felt the pain. I am able to dance longer, feel happier. My energy levels have increased. Once that energy gets into you and you're feeling good, double spins.
Get back out there with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Watch the Bucks on broadcast TV when they battle with the Bulls on your new local home for select Bucks games. Don't miss a second of the action as the Bucks head to the Windy City to tip off with their interstate rivals. It's a battle on the border. Bucks, Bulls, on your new local home for select Milwaukee Bucks games. Friday at 9 on Television Wisconsin.
At 7 a.m. ahead, former President Trump projected to win the South Carolina Republican primary. Here his comments on the race and Nikki Haley's chances going forward. Plus, mourners gather in Middleton after the tragic death of 2 children killed by their mother in a murder-suicide.
And temperatures are warmer again today, but we're tracking some possible severe weather Tuesday. All the full details coming up.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. It is Sunday, February 25th. Let's begin this new hour by taking a look outside this morning. First warm meteorologist Jacob Montesano is standing by. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. Temperatures are a lot warmer than yesterday, and yesterday was a lot colder than Friday. So over the last 48 hours, temperatures haven't changed that much compared to 48 hours ago. But early yesterday morning, it was pretty chilly. But right now, we're sitting at 32 degrees, well above what we normally see this time of the morning for this time of the year. Sunrise right now, very pretty as we are seeing partly sunny skies. Looking at the temperatures across our area, a few locations, especially in the central portion of the state near La Crosse, temperatures are above freezing. Now, it is a bit colder in the southwestern portion of Wisconsin and also in the far northern portions of the state as temperatures are in the lower 30s and upper 20s. But looking at 24 hours ago, it certainly is a lot warmer. Some areas near the Dells, Camp Douglas, near 30 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. This time yesterday, we had temperatures in the single digits, and some places were in the teens, but it was still very cold nonetheless. And the wind speeds aren't too bad with the exception of the southern and eastern half of the state where wind speeds are up to 15 miles per hour. But it's going to be a quiet day with highs in the lower 50s, but we are going to see some storms Tuesday. I have the full details still to come.
Jacob, thank you. CBS News has projected that former President Donald Trump will win the South Carolina Republican primary, defeating former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley in her home state. Haley, however, has vowed to press forward in the GOP nomination contest, whatever the outcome. Here's what the former president had to say after the race was called last night.
I just want to say that I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now. Never been like that. And a big part of that is the people standing behind me.
Trump leads in the delegate count, and polls show he's the overwhelming pick for primary voters nationwide. In our area today marks 1 week since a Middleton woman shot and killed her 2 children and injured their father before turning the gun on herself. A vigil was held Saturday night to mourn the deaths of the 2 children. Mourners gathered at Lakeview Park Saturday to show their support for the family. News 3 Now's Braden Ross reports.
Maya was a beautiful child with a smile and laugh that could melt your heart.
Ask those who knew them about Maya and Major Lacey Robinson, and there's one thing that always comes to mind.
Major was a beautiful child that was a proud brother.
He had the biggest smile.
Saturday night, dozens of Middleton community members and more than 30 family members gathered to remember those smiles.
They were beautiful kids, full of life, full of energy, full of possibility. And I've heard nothing but great things, and that's why you saw so many people out here today.
Boys and Girls Club of Dane County CEO Michael Johnson spoke to News 3 Now on behalf of the family.
And they called me one night at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I could just feel the pain that they were going through.
He says they planned Saturday night's vigil not just to honor those who were lost, but also to support those who are still here.
I think it was important for us to bring them out and to let them know that the community, as Pastor Jackson said, wanted to hug, wanted to love on them, but also to pray for them as well.
I just want to remind our community that help is out there. Our very human struggles do not need to end in needless gun violence like we've witnessed this.
And as the community begins the long road to recovery, there's one thing they're sure will be coming with them.
Their amazing smiles will live on in our hearts forever.
Reporting in Middleton, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
There's also a GoFundMe set up to support the family with funeral and counseling expenses. And you can find out how to donate online at channel2000.com. Gen Zers are taking part in book clubs, but it's not what you typically expect from one. Gone are the days of meeting up in someone's living room, snacking on cheese and discussing the book. Gen Zers are gathering at restaurants, dating events, breweries, and on group runs. They use the clubs as a way to socialize, which is why book club event listings grew 24% last year, and that's according to ticketing platform Eventbrite. A driving force behind book clubs' popularity is, of course, social media. It's been helping lead younger readers to new genres and in-person communities built around reading. And in other Get Me Up news for this Sunday morning, for the first time ever, scientists are unveiling a 240 million-year-old dragon in its entirety. The roughly 16-foot-long reptile from the Triassic period was first identified in China in 2003, but newly discovered fossils allowed the international team of researchers to depict the entire creature. Scientists say it's very reminiscent of a Chinese dragon. The extremely long neck likely helped it to catch fish, though researchers are still unsure of its precise function. A massive fire in downtown Tomah Friday night caused damage to 4 buildings, displacing businesses and residents. Shaquille Davis spoke with a local resident who was sitting on a couch with his family, and as he put it, they were just enjoying another Friday afternoon.
Out of nowhere, I heard a loud boom. Very, very loud, very distinguished.
At first, Chris Schaefer assumed it was just a car crash, but when he looked out his window, he saw an unfamiliar sight.
And I saw that van that's sitting right there, that white one there, covered in bricks. So immediately, I went to the door, called 911. I told them we need fire trucks, EMS, pretty much everybody you got.
He says he was unsure about what was going on at the time, but he was just concerned. His concern caused him to actually take matters into his own hands after he witnessed seeing smoke.
As soon as I got off the phone with emergency, I saw smoke start rolling out, and I ran over there to see if I could just lend a hand, just in case anybody was inside.
He said he came across some locals and a fire official and asked how he could be of service.
Tried to help him get a door open, but soon after that, flames started rolling out. So it was maybe 5 or 10 minutes after the smoke, the flames started going up, and everybody moved away.
Chris says he's just grateful that no one was hurt.
I don't think anybody was in the building. We come to find out nobody was. Everybody got out safe, so really thankful for that, too.
That's News 8 Now's Shaquille Davis reporting. The Tomah community is rallying behind those affected by this fire, and Chris says he's seen in less than 24 hours community members donating to help those families get back on their feet. If you or someone you know in Tomah has been displaced by this fire, the Tomah Police Department says to call dispatch at 608-269-6333 for direction to warm shelter and food. In health news, cases of norovirus are on the rise in the U.S., especially in the Northeast. That's according to the most recent data from the CDC. The data shows more than 12% of norovirus tests came back positive in the week ending on February 17th, a slight increase from 11.5% from the week before. But in the Northeast, the positivity rate was over 13%, and it has been that high since late January. The FDA has issued a warning about the risks of using certain smartwatches and smart rings to measure your blood sugar. On Friday, the FDA said it has not approved devices intended to measure blood glucose levels on their own. The agency warns the use of smartwatches and smart rings can lead to life-threatening, inaccurate measurements in diabetes management. The agency advises healthcare providers to help patients choose an appropriate authorized device for their needs instead. It's been nearly a week since 3 first responders were killed responding to a domestic violence call in Burnsville, Minnesota. On Saturday, several hundred trucks formed a convoy to pay tribute to the fallen first responders. Jason Rantala has more.
It's a big convoy.
Several hundred trucks, seemingly too many to count.
Over 1,000, yeah.
Took over the Burnsville Center parking lot Saturday. They're gathering and honoring Burnsville's fallen first responders.
It's been a really hard and heavy week, and just knew I wanted to be here.
It brought Kelly Case here from New Prague.
I think there'll be a lot of chills.
Right around noon, the convoy rolled from the mall past Burnsville PD, where the emergency vehicles honoring the fallen officers and paramedic are now well covered under bouquets and balloons.
It was so close to home that it was like, this is scary. This could happen to anyone at any point.
Friends Clint, Tucker, Austin, and Brian never anticipated their idea for a convoy, which spread across one community page after another, would grow to this.
People are messaging me left and right. Can I put my car in? It's nothing fancy. I said, bring it on it.
Means a lot of people care and want to show their support to the community.
A convoy so large, Justin Napper from Montgomery is still stuck in traffic more than 2 hours after the first vehicles hit the streets.
Been sitting for about an hour now, and we've been here since 8.
From those in the convoy to those supporting from the street, being here Saturday was about paying respect for those willing to give their lives to save others.
Just good to see all the support and everyone here for everyone. It hit the city really hard, and the law enforcement and EMT families for sure.
In Burnsville, Jason Rantala, WCCO News.
Current time, 7:11, still ahead. It's been 2 years since fighting began in Ukraine. Now costs are going up for their allies. And let's take a live look outside. There's the state capitol. Jake will have another check of your forecast on this Sunday, just ahead on Weekend Mornings.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Corvette and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings, going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
For the second year in a row, Chevy Equinox has been ranked by J.D. Power #1 in new vehicle quality for compact SUVs. In other words, it's really good, right from the start. Chevy Equinox.
Do that again.
Connected by OnStar.
Qualified lessees can get this Equinox for around $269 a month.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
This is the Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic, and it responds to snoring, so you don't have to. So no more nudging your partner or sleeping on the other side of the house, because the Tempur Ergo Smart Base actually detects snoring, then automatically adjusts to help reduce it all night, every night.
Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
7-day-old tuna casserole.
How'd you know that?
Even my nose is strong. You need Hefty Ultra Strong. It has Arm & Hammer, continuous odor control. Hefty, Hefty, Hefty. Oh, and Toby needs a bath. Stay one step ahead of Stinky.
You were always so dedicated. We worked hard to build up the shop, save for college and our retirement. But we got there thanks to our advisor and Vanguard. Now I see who all that hard work was for. It was always for you. Seeing you carry on our legacy, I'm so proud.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner, setting up the future for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
Without the right start to your day, your morning could hit a wall.
Is he okay?
I got it. Belvita breakfast biscuits are baked with slow-release carbs and provide steady morning energy to help you rise and thrive.
If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, watch out.
Watch out. The insurance company's job is to do what's best for them, not you.
Watch out. If you wait too long to hire a lawyer, it could hurt your case.
Don't trust the insurance company after your accident. You can miss out on what you really deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today.
Gruber Law Offices watched out for me and settled my case for $700,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Corvette and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings, going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know for the next couple of days. We are going to see the mild temperatures return today with record highs possible for Monday and Tuesday. But as we get into Tuesday, that's when we're going to see some rain and possibly a few thunderstorms. So look at the forecast for today. Very quiet. We'll have highs in the 50s and then possibly 60s for Monday and Tuesday. And that will make way for the alert day for the possibility of severe weather. Now, this is for all of southern Wisconsin, but especially the southeastern portion of the state. And for you folks near La Crosse, the alert day does not include you as the severe weather will likely stay south of your area. Now, looking at the severe weather outlook, a marginal risk for much of Madison's area, with the exception of a good portion of Juneau and Adams County and also places further to the north and west. A slight risk for southern Greene and also about half of Rock County, the southern half of Rock County. And as you get into the southeastern portion of the state and further south into Illinois, the severe weather risk is a little bit higher there. So looking at future track, we aren't going to see anything until Tuesday afternoon, and it will start as some light rain. Folks north of La Crosse may see only snowfall as temperatures will have already dropped by then. And during the evening, that's when we have the best chance to see that severe weather, especially in the southeastern portion of the state. But take a look at the winds. As they come out of the north, the temperatures are going to fall. And for those of you near La Crosse, you folks may see snowfall even before midnight. But southern Wisconsin will likely not see the snowfall until Wednesday morning. But all of our area is expected to see snow at some point. Now, we're not expected to see a lot of accumulation, maybe a few inches, especially further north and for you folks around La Crosse, but snow nonetheless. Now, as we get into Wednesday afternoon, it will dry off. And the reason for the possibility of snow is because temperatures are going to drop significantly from Tuesday to Wednesday. Highs on Tuesday will be in the middle 60s. Highs on Wednesday will be in the 20s. Now, the temperatures are going to rebound by the time we get to next weekend, and we could be back in the 60s, but we are going to see a big switch in temperatures for Wednesday alone. Now, outside of Wednesday, both leading up to it and afterwards, we're going to remain above average. We also have another chance of rain by next week on Monday. But for the end of this week, it does look to be very sunny and also very mild. Next weekend will be very nice with mild temperatures and dry conditions.
Jacob, thank you. Turning overseas, Saturday was the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Billions of dollars have been spent by the U.S. alone and is becoming more and more costly for Ukraine's allies. The European Union and its regional allies have spent more than $100 billion funding Ukraine's defense effort. And earlier this month, EU leaders agreed to a $54 billion package to fund Ukraine until 2027. The United Kingdom has pledged more than $15 billion, and the U.S. has spent $66 billion on aid for Ukraine, with another $60 billion that has passed the Senate and that currently awaits House approval. In Israel, airstrikes by the IDF in central Gaza have killed at least 100 in the latest round of fighting. Video shows crowds gathered in a hospital courtyard around dozens of body bags. One man is seen carrying a lifeless baby wrapped in a blanket. Gaza's health ministry said Israeli attacks on the Strip killed 104 people Friday, bringing the total death toll to 29,514 people, who are mostly children and women. Stick around. Next on Weekend Mornings, Andrew is back with a full breakdown in action at yesterday's WIAA State Wrestling Tournament. We'll be right back.
Jalen Banks, News 3 Now at 6 and 10, weekends moving forward.
Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
Bis squared.
Egg and cheese biscuit and sausage biscuit. 2 biscuits. I'm impressed Tyler knew what squaring was.
Mathlete.
No matter what you call it, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy two, you get two free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy Two, Get Two free sale is for a limited time.
That's a great deal. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Two iconic rock bands, one night of history. The Marshall Tucker Band, Jefferson Starship. Live on Cloud 9 Tour. Saturday, May 25th, Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. All the hits. All the history. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. For the first time ever, the Marshall Tucker Band, Jefferson Starship, together.
We warn you first.
This storm is producing a tornado right around Evansville.
Safety is first. You should be in the inner part of your house, away from windows.
First, with the information you need to be prepared and stay safe. First Warn Weather.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Looking at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, it looks like the temperatures are going to remain well above normal. Now, this is heading towards March, and there's really no end in sight to this mild weather. So the temperatures we saw yesterday may be the last time that we're even close to the single digits. Now, a few areas did get into the single digits, but it is going to remain very mild, and we may be talking about more record highs by the end of next weekend, as some of the overnight lows may stay in the 40s, which would break records. Now, looking at the precipitation chances, outside of Tuesday through early Wednesday, we really aren't going to see much for this week. We'll be dry through Tuesday afternoon and then dry again from Wednesday afternoon all the way through the weekend, with our next chance of rain coming Monday of next week. But looking a little bit beyond the 10-day forecast, there's a possibility that we could see a little bit more precipitation, but based on the temperatures, it looks like it will mostly be in the form of rain.
This time of year almost feels like a holiday in Wisconsin. Yesterday was Championship Saturday at the Kohl Center, the place every kid wants to be crowned the best wrestler in the state. Now, entering this weekend, only 75 wrestlers could call themselves three-time state champs. Dodgeville's Charlie Might looking to add his name to that list. He'd get the takedown there en route to a 5-3 decision that earned him his third state title. But not to be outdone, teammate Reed Spurley capped off a perfect senior season with a 7-2-4 decision at 126 pounds to win his third state title. Moving up to 150 pounds, Evansville's Danny Heiser dominated his match from start to finish, winning 6-1 to claim his third straight title. Let's hear from him.
I had that mindset like, hey, I already know I'm the best guy. Hey, I already know you're not going to beat me because I'm focused on the process. So I'm just going to show it to everybody else. What I already know.
It means everything. The work I put in on a weekly basis, you know, year round, it all comes to show right here at this tournament. It's awesome. I mean, it's everything I dreamed of. Winning state and doing it 3 times is even better.
And what a weekend it was for the Peach family of Milton. Both Maddie and Tyson made it to the championship Saturday, and the siblings were wrestling for their first state titles at the exact same time right next to each other. Maddie would cap off an undefeated season with a 7-1 decision, and a couple of feet away, her older brother Tyson capped off his senior year with his first state championship in a 5-1 decision.
I've missed so many of my goals in the last couple of years, and this is just one of the many more that I have. And but this one's really sweet because, I mean, obviously, all the people here, like this one feels the most special, you know, out of any of them.
Well, I didn't know we were going to be wrestling at the same time till almost right before I wrestled, and I was kind of sad that I didn't get to watch him wrestle, but I knew we were both going to win. It was a great feeling.
And Dodgeville wasn't done either. Haken Peterson won the title last year as a freshman and followed that by going back-to-back with a 20-5 Tech Fall win at 113 pounds. Speaking of two-time state champs, Fenimore's Tristan Stelt claimed his second straight title thanks to back points in a 16-4 major decision. His teammate Ian Krapp also took home a state title. The senior achieved his dream, claiming the 144-pound title. What a way to end a career. And at 106, how about Pecatonica Argyle's Aiden Grunenfelder only needed an escape to win his match, and he gets it. The junior wins it 1-0.
Looking back, I didn't know if I would ever accomplish it. It was just a goal that was very hard to achieve, but came out on top in my senior year. It's crazy. Amazing feeling.
I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform this weekend, and just felt good to get it done. I felt like I was definitely expected to win, and that's what I expect from myself.
Since beating Ohio State to win their record-setting 7th national title, Wisconsin women's hockey is 28-5. 3 of those losses have come to the Buckeyes. Number 1 versus number 2 in the regular season finale. Grab your popcorn. Things weren't looking good for Bucky early, though. But you know Britta Curl wasn't going down that easy. Final game at LeBon for the senior, and she feeds her fellow senior, Casey O'Brien, for the goal. Tie it up at 2 apiece. How about it? And then just over a minute later, we're in the 3rd period. Badgers on the attack. Layla Edwards to Kirsten Sims. Right back to Edwards for the game-winning goal. The Badgers don't disappoint. They never do. They are the greatest show on ice. Wisco wins it. 4-2 is your final. And the Badgers men's were given a big chance to jump up in the Big Ten standings this weekend. Let's just worry about today. Badgers leading 2-1, less than 8 minutes to go in the game, but look at that snipe. A Penn State goal knocks the game up at 2. We need overtime, which left this man coming all the way coast to coast. Ben Dexheimer does it himself, scores the goal, and the sophomore sends the Badgers to the promised land. What a way to rebound. 3-2 is your final. And staying on the hockey rink, boys sectional final, Oregon made state for the first time ever last year, trying to make it back. Scoreless in the 2nd period, Panthers pounce first. Look at the one-timer feed from Mason Anderson to James Shervin. We've got a game. And then later, Oregon finding themselves tied at 1-1. St. Mary's Springs slapper no good, but Austin Westergaard there for the putback. The goal goes, and St. Mary's Springs wins it. 3-2 is your final. That's your morning sports fix. Have a sensational Sunday.